Hey there, YouTube. Cheers. Got my raspberry iced tea today. Just got home not long ago. Got a Thornton's gas station. Got a cold drink a little while ago. It's Sunday. Well, no, it's Monday. Monday evening, June 20th. Not sure when this is going to be posted. Uh, but um, I just felt like doing it. So you know, I felt like record prices kind of, especially during the pandemic, went up, uh, and they've started to come down. And so I've seen some comments in some of my videos that people want to start a record collection, but they think it's so expensive. And so I picked out, and I picked out records for this to make this video like weeks ago, and I never did, but I just did it today. So I picked out some records um, that I got really cheap. Most of these I got before or the very beginning of the pandemic, but record prices are starting to go down, and you can still find deals out there for records. I just made a video don't about some $3 records, $2 and $3 records that I got, but I've gotten records cheaper than that. And so the question is, what's the lowest you've ever gotten, the cheapest you've ever bought records for? I'm not talking about when somebody like gives you records, but the cheapest record that you paid for from a store. And so my three lowest that I've ever gotten, I've got some of my favorites here from three categories that I've paid for records over the years that I'll show. And this will probably be a two-parter because I do have a few records here. But I'm going to start with the cheapest record that I've gotten and then work my way up to the second cheapest, the third, and the fourth cheapest that I've gotten. And one of those sources I still can go to, I think, and they have records. I was just there, and I'm going to show uh, some that I got just in the past few months, but I haven't been to this one spot in a while. So the cheapest record I've ever gotten, and I just want to set up this story because it was just, and feel free to post your own comments and your own stories. But so when I moved to Northwest Indiana about 15 years ago, we have been here maybe for 2 or 3 years. And one Saturday, my wife, somebody told us that there was a Goodwill store, and it was located in a town called Gary. It was near where we uh, lived, and it was in Gary, Indiana. And so it was a Goodwill outlet store. And so my first thought was an outlet store for thrift stores. There's nothing of value. I mean, they're selling left shoes and torn clothing. There's nothing of value there. So, but she said, "Well, let's go." And so we have been out on a Saturday, and our kids were, I think our youngest kids were maybe like teenagers. I mean, the oldest one was like maybe 17, 18, and the youngest would have been like 8 or 9. And so we decided to go to this Goodwill outlet store. And we have been, because somebody told us about it. We have been out and we have spent money, and we were like, well, we'll go, but we'll spend less than $20 between the two of us. We'll go and we'll spend less than $20. And I'm thinking, well, I probably won't find anything because she was like, well, and I heard they have records. So I was like, okay, so we'll go. So we get there, and the parking lot is full. Somebody comes out and gets out of a park and moves, and we were just in the right place because there were cars circling, and we got a parking spot. Great. So we get a parking spot, and I'm like, okay, this is really weird because this place is packed. It's a thrift store, outlet store. What's so special? So we get in, and people are waiting at the front to even get a shopping cart. When people check out, the line was long. When they're on their way out, they get you know they don't need their cart anymore. So it's a line of people waiting to get carts, and so and the place is packed. And there were records right by the door, and I go and they have hundreds of records, and I'm expecting to see, Al Hurd and uh, Burl Ives and the Herb Alpert. No offense to those people, they have their fans, I'm sure, but the typical thrift store stuff that you find that you can get in most thrift stores and not a big audience for. So they've got boxes of records and they have a bin that probably it's two levels and it's probably fitting maybe like 150 per level, plus they got boxes. They have hundreds of records. And so I start to look and I'm finding records that I like, stuff from the 70s and the 80s in fairly good shape. And I'm thinking, okay, I wonder how much these records are. Usually at thrift stores, records are $1, $2, $3, depending on which one. And I'm thinking, okay, so we got $20 to spend. That means I got 10, she got 10. I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna easily spend $10. And so I'm thinking about it. Well, you know what, Kevin, you're a grown man. You have your own. You work. You have your own money. I don't need her permission. So I'm thinking, man. I was trying to just. So I'm thinking, well, maybe they're $1. I would try to just pick 10 records, and by then I had gotten a cart, and I probably got like 20 something records. And so I'm thinking, well, you know what? My wife's gone off, and the store is packed. I can't see her. She can't see me. Maybe I'll just use a credit card or something or a debit card and just get the stuff and just, hey woman, I'm a big boy. I can buy my records if I want some records. And so I'm in my mind I'm thinking of what I'm going to say to justify that we had agreed to just spend $10 each, and now I'm about to spend more than $10. And so finally somebody that walks there passes, and I said, how much are these records? Just bracing myself, thinking she's probably going to say $2, $3. She says 30 cents. Oh, wait, I made a mistake. And I was like, are you sure? She said, oh, wait, I made a mistake. It's the weekend. It's half price. So everything is half price. So these records are 15 cents. So that was the cheapest records. And it's still open, but they built a new location and moved it. And they sell stuff now by the pound, not by the item. But this was open like this for a few years. They moved a few, maybe like 3 years ago. So I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years. I would go to this place and get 15-cent records. I bought hundreds of them over the years, but I just picked out a few of my favorites. 15-cent records. So the first day that I was there, this is one of the first records that I picked up. George Benson, This Masquerade. I already had it, but I had a rough copy. And this copy was super clean and one of the original pressings. And so this was literally one of the first records that I bought there over 10 years ago, I think. Great shape. 15 cents. Here's another record that I had passed so much because I thought it was maybe like classical or something. What would you think when you see this, The Music People? Turns out this is a 3-record compilation from Columbia Records that was released sometime in the 70s. And it's just a compilation. I'm just going to read some of the artists that are on here. Bob Dylan, Johnny Winter, and Jeff Beck, Chase, The Byrds, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Blue Oyster Cult, Poco, Santana, Taj Mahal, the Chambers Brothers, REO Speedwagon, Redbone, Boss Skaggs and Band, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, Kenny Loggins, Edgar Winters and White Trash, That's just some of the artists on here. It's got some. It's a really nice classic rock compilation, and all three records are great. It was clean. It's a gatefold. I don't know if you can see this. I have bad light in this room, and it just shows the albums that these songs were taken. You know, of course, they're trying to sell you these artists' albums, so it was probably sold for cheap in stores when it came out. Let me fix this right. 15 cents. I don't know how many times I've just listened to this album all the way through, and it sounds great. I'll maybe just pick one record and listen side A, side B. They're all good, in my opinion. 15 cents. All right, what's 10 minutes in? Just a couple more. Joe Sample on the smooth jazz tip, or the jazz tip. Pianist Joe Sample. This is called Rainbow Seeker on the ABC label. Great album, 15 cent. Rainbow Seeker in My Wildest Dreams. That was the song that, what's his name? Tupac sampled for Dear Mama. Yeah, In My Wildest Dreams. This whole album is nice. I've listened to this front and back. I haven't listened to it in a while just because I have a lot of records, but great record. 15 cent, you betcha. I also got there some compilations. They had a lot of K-Tel compilations. This is still in the shrink. I got this a few years ago. It's called Expressions, the soft sounds of today's rock. This came out in probably like 79 or 80, because all these records are from the late 70s. It's got Still by the Commodores, I'll Never Love This Way Again, Dionne Warwick, Where Were You When I Was Falling in Love, Lobo, I Do Love You, GQ, A Little Bit More, Dr. Hook, So Good, So Right, Brenda Russell, You're Only Lonely, J.D. Souther, Just When I Needed You, Randy Van Warmer. That was new, according to, I can't talk today. According to this, it was new. It says Randy Van Warmer's album Warmer is available on Bearsville Records and Tape. So I think this was brand new. That one song was brand new. The others had been out for a little while. Sad Eyes, Robert John, Different Worlds, Maureen McGovern, Do It or Die, Atlanta Rhythm Section, The Nights Last Forever, Michael Johnson, and Please Don't Go, KC and the Sunshine Band. Still in the shrink on that K-Tel label. Record is still super clean. I've had this for years now. 15 cent. I got a lot of these K-Tel compilations. Some of the good ones from the 80s with just the 10, 12 songs. I collected the older ones with like 10 songs per side just for the nostalgia of it. Expressions, 15 cents. I was ready to express myself. Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good. Yeah, the title track to this was a big hit for Chuck. This is a Canadian import on the A&M label. 15 cents. I got a few Chuck Mangione albums from there. 15 cent, in good shape. Canadian pressing. A few more. Scratched by the Crusaders. This one, the cover is decent. This is a live album by the Crusaders, recorded live at the Roxy on the Blue Thumb Chizza label. This one, the record was a little bit played, but it plays great, and I played the heck out of it. This is a live album, all version of Eleanor Rigby on here. It's 12 and a half minutes. Oh, this is a great album. I'm a huge fan of the Crusaders and all of their individual stuff. Of course, Joe Sample just showed you. Wilton Felder was another member. Stix Hooper was another member of the band. Ooh, this is a great album. 15 cents. I used to listen to this side one before I would go to work sometimes because it would really get my bones moving. Uh, Total 4. Yeah, and it included the original uh, insert. This was a replacement for me. 15 cent. Not a perfect cover. There's some ring wear, probably hard to see, but 15 cent, and it plays great. Um, some gospel music, James Cleveland and the Southern Community Choir on the Savoy label. Clean record. This is a great record. I like Precious Memories, Give Me a Clean Heart. There's a Bright Side Somewhere. I've Come a Long Ways. Uh, those are my favorites on here. But the album is nice. I have listened to this just straight through side A and side B. I've got a lot of James Cleveland from there. 15 cents. Oh, I brought another James Cleveland record. This was a gatefold 2 record set. Where Is Your Faith? James Cleveland and the Southern California Community Choir. This one's a gatefold. This one has can't think of the name of it. Wherever Your Faith Is good. Christ Won't Fail. How Much I Owe. I Keep on Looking Back. I Will Always Be Together. Good songs on here. On the Savoy label, but 15 cent. Both records were in there. Great shape. All right, we're at 17 minutes now. Oh, I got one more. I'm sorry. This was a 12-inch single, Cameo Word Up. Promo copy on the Atlanta Artist label. The record was in pretty good shape. 15 cent. I got a few 12-inch singles from there too. I just posted one not long ago. Huey Lewis in the News. I want a new drug on a 12-inch. I got it from there. 15 cent. So this one is Far Gone. Thank you for watching. I pray that everyone is doing well. Please take care of yourselves. Do the best that you can do in these trying times to stay healthy, to stay mentally okay. I truly believe that only love can conquer hatred. So regardless of your political or social or economic status or feelings or whatever, I think if we just put aside our differences, and we'll find that we have a lot more in common than we think. We have a lot more in common than we have differences. But you have to take some time to get to know somebody that's not like you. That doesn't go necessarily to the places that you go. That doesn't eat the things you eat. Someone that's a little bit different than you. And maybe you'll find something. Enlighten yourself. So, hey, I'll get off my soapbox. Thank you so much. Part 2 is coming with more cheap records that I've found over the years. God bless you and have a beautiful day.